Hey, Moose Country, welcome. 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 Hey, Moose Country, welcome. Welcome. Hey, Moose Country, welcome. 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 Hey, Moose Country, welcome. 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 Hey, Moose Country, welcome. Welcome. Hey, Moose Country, welcome.
What's up, everybody? I'm back. Sorry, just getting everything ready. I just had an interview and just getting all my notes together. What up, Colin? What up, Lindsay? Anybody wants to join the Zoom, hit me up. I'm going to give that a couple minutes, and then we'll get right into it. Not a long live tonight. We're going to talk about the last 3 games. I'd love to have somebody to bounce those thoughts off of, but it's okay if you don't want to join. Just join in on the chat. You guys are the best, as always. Hope you guys all had a great week. Seems like it's been a minute since we've been in the barn, but that's because we're on our 3-game road trip to Quebec. It could have went better, could have went worse. We managed to bring home 2 points out of the 6. New team, young team. You can't scoff at that. Do I have some pointers? Of course. I mean, we all do, right? But they tried. They played their hearts out, and that's all we can ask from them. So we got a couple games. We got 3 games to talk about. We're going to get through some channel news. We're going to get through some what are the boys up to. And then we'll talk about the next few games we have coming up here on, I think we only have 2 this week. We have Friday and Saturday. Friday is Armada, and Saturday is Titan. I'm really excited to see the Titan. I wasn't in the building for the last one. But yeah, that's what we're gonna get on to. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah. Yeah, just gotta I'm kind of missing the building. I think I was only at 1 game last week, and then we got a week off, and it's been a minute. It has been a minute since we've been there. Just perusing. Give me a second, guys. Getting these links out and stuff. And I think I'm good to go. Yeah. All right. What up, Colin? So I only got to watch 1 game, unfortunately, says Colin. Other 2, I was in Ottawa for some NHL games. What games did you go to see there? I'd seen your posts on Facebook, but let everybody know what games you got to take in while you're in Ottawa. Also, 3 points, not 2. Did we go to OT in one of them? I can't remember. My bad if I'm wrong. Yeah, Lindsay says 3 out of 6 points. My bad. Chris says you're missing me more like I am. Chris, I am missing you, buddy. I'm missing tapping the little bean on the top of your hat just to bother you. That's what I'm missing. Okay. Baie-Comeau, we went overtime. Okay. I did not remember that, I guess. But good thing somebody's paying attention. Okay. All right. So we'll start off the first game. It was Halifax versus Drakkar, 4-3 loss in a shootout. I had it written down. I just forgot to say it. Let's move this. There we go. It was a great 2 periods. The first 2 periods, they were great. The boys played hard, but they got gassed after 40 minutes, and it seems to be kind of I don't want to say habit, but it's definitely something that I'm noticing more this year than in previous years. We used to be a 3rd period team. That's when we put our best foot forward, and it seems it's kind of flip-flop now. We're putting our most into the first or second period, and the 3rd period we're just kind of allowing the game to get away from us. And I feel like if we had a stronger 3rd, we would be taking home 4 points instead of the 6. Or sorry, 4 points instead of the 3, which at 1 point I get it, but I think that we could have beat Drakkar. The SAG loss was a little bit more substantial, but I really feel like we could have beat the Drakkar. But even against the Sags in game 2, we weren't playing them the way we played them in our barn. It's like we showed them a lot more respect in their barn versus when they were in ours. We bullied them, like flat out bullied them when they were here. Hit after hit after hit. It was one of the best games I've seen all year out of any hockey. And we went there and we just kind of, gave up. No, maybe not gave up, but just subsided. Like, yeah, okay, hit us. It's okay. We're not going to hit back. And that's frustrating. I mean, they played good hockey. I mean, it's not like it was a horrible hockey, but they just weren't hitting. They weren't being aggressive. They weren't putting any pressure on. Very little back check. It wasn't the hockey that we've seen from these. It's not the hockey that we know that they can play. Let's put it that way. So yeah, first game loss, first game loss to shootout, second game loss. Blake tossed for his first fight. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest Blake fan. He's a great kid, good hockey player, and I think I've made my feelings known about him on here. I like him post-trade more than pre-trade. He's passing a lot more, and he's playing great. He's a much better player second half of the season than he was the first half of the season. He's really growing on me. So good job, Blake. We had Circa pulled in the third after his 7th goal. I don't know how you guys feel. I've spoken to many people about the subject, and by the time we have 5, 6, 7 goals in the net, there's no turning the tide. There's no switching momentum. Why bother switch a goalie at that point? That really comes down to a management or coaching error. I think if a goalie lets in 4 and they weren't really great goals, it's got to be case by case basis, and allowing them to have 4 in, or 7, 5, 6, 7 shots go in before you pull them. It doesn't work. What's the point in changing the goalie? There's no battling back from that. And you're not doing the kid any favors by leaving him in, getting, if it's not this goalie's night, it's not the goalie's night. Pull him out halfway through the game before he's let 7 goals in. I bet you pulling him out and replacing him does less to his self-esteem than allowing 2 or 3 or 4 more shots to go in on him. Pull him earlier. I didn't like that. They looked tired again. Again, third period was our worst. I didn't do the research, but I said I would, and I forgot to. I think if you were to take a look at shots for, shots against in the last 10 games, I guarantee you that we're outshot a greater deal in the third than any other period. I would almost stake a check on it. I feel like they are double or tripling our shots in the third, if not more. At least that's the way it feels. Like I said, I am going to check it out. But we have to do something about the third, whether it's stamina, keep the boys in the gym, give them some tricks to help them fight fatigue. I don't know what it is, but something's got to be done for the third period. And I get this year is really just about growth. We're not expecting a whole lot, but I want to see the third period get better by the end of the season. I want to see us contributing more in the third period. What up, Kevin? How you doing, buddy? Then game 3 versus Ramparts. Relatively boring game, I got to say. Boring game, but at least we got the W. We got the win. That's what's important. And, I don't really care. Do I want to see a show? Yeah, I want to see a show. But I'd rather get the win than be entertained. I want my boys to learn. I want them to grow from every game. And, if they're constantly doing bad in the third, that's not change. That's not growth. We got Steve chiming in here in a minute, so we'll wait for him before we go any further. And then we'll run through the 3 games with him, see what his opinions are, and then we'll get to what the boys are up to this week, then followed by the next games coming up, and followed again by our news.
There
How
you go.
Doing, Steve? Long time no
Doing
see,
good, doing good.
Hey,
There
Julian,
you go.
how
You got
doing,
the
sir?
smile.
Love the sweater. Love the sweater.
Oh, always. And also, identified, right?
So yeah,
Awesome.
exactly, Colin. In the third period versus Quebec, he says we were outshot 16-6 in the third. That's not. I'd imagine there is some substance to that claim. That's not good. It's not manageable. We can't allow them to stay in zone for the full third period. It just can't. How is anybody ever going to win the minute to win it if we're always in our zone in the third period? It's just not going to happen.
They need to draw the penalty every time.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's So, what do you think of the first 3 or these 3 games this week? Let's get your opinion on the first one versus Drakkar.
well, versus Drakkar, I think I'll say it with the name. It was dramatic, but it's that's how Drakkar is. They built on the momentum and they go on it, and that's what we lost on.
Yep.
And to be honest, that should have been a blowout for the Moosehead and win it. But it is junior hockey; it could happen anytime. And second game was
Versus
against the Sags. It's normal. The Sags was hungry. And to be honest, they wanted to be all over the place. There was a lot of penalties on both sides.
Yep.
But the Sag dominated the Moose. So
Yep.
And the third game, the 1-0, that was phenomenal. I loved it every minute.
Really? I
And
found it
Simon.
extremely boring.
Well, but you know what? You need one goal to win.
Yep. No,
That's
100%.
all it is.
No, and I want the win. Like I said, I'd rather a boring game and have our boys develop and get that win than an exciting game and we get blown out. You know what I mean? I'm glad they got the win. As a fan, like you're looking for a show, it wasn't there. But that's not their fault. It was just a tight game, right?
It's the orange shirt. It's the orange shirt from the Rampire.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
They were nice.
To represent a nice gesture to represent.
I've seen a lot of teams do that. We don't do that.
Yeah, I know. That would be. I think Caitlin was trying to get the team to do it one time. So I think they'll be awesome to support them too.
I agree.
So that would be probably another team to be done in the future, and it'd be nice to there and do a 50-50 and get a sort of a support. So
Kevin says it was a very defensive game, 100%. Steve, my son has a question for you.
Oh yeah.
Did you get a haircut?
Nope.
It's
just I'm getting bald. That's all.
I'm with you, buddy. That's why I wear a hat on all these, man. All you can see is just skin up here.
Wait.
There you go.
I'm
Get
trying.
a comb over. I love it. Sexy.
I'm trying. Look, I
Colin
could be
says-
different too.
That's what I do. I just cover it up. Colin says regarding Kevin, which is impressive given we were down two big defensemen, 100%. And I think that's playing a role in it too. As soon as you miss one crucial, let's be honest, Hundell is a crucial part to our defensive puzzle.
If
he's missing, that's a void. It's hard to fill.
It is hard.
Yeah. So then we played Ramparts. And you said you liked that one. Okay, so we talked about those. So we'll get off the games. We know what happened. Let's talk about Steinman. Steiny.
Okay.
Julian, if you're in here, buddy, this is where you comment. Steinman, for the second week in a row, has made the Q Team of the Week.
He sure is.
I want to know, and this isn't throwing any shade on Rooster, and I know you're a very political guy when it comes to this, Julian. And you're not going to bash anybody, and I wouldn't expect no less from you. What does it feel like as a Cats fan to have a goalie traded in a go for a year who's just absolutely dominating? Like, he is, 10 toes down, standing on his head, absolutely lights out for the Halifax Mooseheads. Versus, and again, I get that Russo is a playoff goalie, and that's why they wanted him, and I'm sure he's going to do great in the playoffs. But right now, it's looking as if Halifax got the better end of that deal. And, I know there's a lot of pissed off Moncton fans, but he put up the symbol for this. I love it. They're both great goalies, and I'm sure that Russo will come in clutch for you guys when the time comes. But we are very happy to have Steiny, and he's an absolute stellar goalie, man. Steinman was QMJHL and CHA goalie of the week. Yeah, same with last week. So this is his second time.
2 weeks in a row.
Being on that list. That's incredible, man. That's absolutely incredible. What a great feeling.
Now, I was looking for the 3 games. So the first game's got 39 shots. The second game's got 20 shots when he took over of Circa.
Yeah.
And 40 shots on the shutout there. So
100 shots over the weekend.
Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
I mean, like I said,
And what did he
he's
let in?
practicing
He
for the
let-
next level,
out of,
right?
Out of 100 shots, he let 4,
2, 5,
6, or 5.
6,
Just 5.
6,
5.
6.
5.
Was it 5? Yeah.
Yeah, four
Yeah,
versus
5.
Drakkar, 1 versus the Sags, and none in Game 3. So he's let in 5 goals
Yeah,
in 100 shots.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
And also, I think that the shootout with the there, I think I'm trying to remember. I think there was 5 shots. No, 3. Yeah. So we got scored 2 goals in the shootout, but that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Out of 3, 2 out of 3. But unfortunately, it was he was. It's a shootout,
No,
so it's unbreakable.
I did see a hole in his game that I won't talk about because I don't want to talk about flaws and, by the off chance somebody's watching it, they manipulate it. But I did see one hole in his game. But he's an absolute stellar goalie. Absolute lights out, man. I got to get to the comments here. What a steal for us at the deadline, 100%, says Kevin. Colin comes back to say Steinman has been nothing but impressive and apparently amazing in the locker room, by the way. I've spoken to some players and they say he's a good locker room guy, like high energy, friendly, funny. They all seem to love him. Our goalie likes to fight. Yeah, our goalie at Steinman, yeah, the last Sags game, man, that impressed me more than any goal, any save he could make. Anyone else going up to next weekend for the game? I'm assuming he's talking about, that's Kevin. I'm assuming he's talking about the Moncton game versus Halifax. We're thinking about it. We might get there. We'll see what happens, but I know others are going up. Julian says, my comment will be coming at the end of the playoffs / Memorial Cup. Well, I look forward to your hot take there, bud. I really do hope that you guys dominate, and I hope Russo shows you what he can do. Well, it says, I try to stay. It would be a stupid move for Moncton to nothing hockey. Sure shows up. Yeah, 100%. Melissa was just saying that she thought it was a stupid trade, but she hopes that Russo proves himself in Moncton. Julian says, but Steiny is playing impressive. Yep, agreed. You don't have to read mine out loud. Okay. I'm just reading.
That too.
I read shitty too. I'm the worst reader in the world. Like I read too fast and then I got to catch up myself and it all gets mumbled and jumbled. All right, so we are going to move on to the boys gave blood. A bunch of them, 5 of them went out. Schultze at the lead. We don't gave some blood. I've never done that. I should probably do that. These boys can do it. I should probably get out and donate. Do you ever donate blood?
Yes, I do. I did 3 so far, but I had to stop them for a little bit. Yeah, not this year. 2 years ago.
Okay.
But it's because my iron went down, so I was like, well, I'm just gonna try to figure out how to bring it up, and so I got brought up. The doctor gave me okay, but right now it's busy with the moving around courses and stuff like that. So right now I'm really busy. Basically, eventually I'm gonna go again.
We should go do it together.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll go give blood together. Colin says we've come up good on the Carrier trade too. I agree. I think Moncton came out more ahead on that trade. Moncton fans won't agree, but they got 2 very talented players for a couple picks, and Carrier, who was, what was he, a 10-point player for their first season. Like, he wasn't a great player, but he's showed drastic improvements. He's an incredible player, and I'm happy to have him. I'm not saying that I'm not, but I think that was a pretty heavier on their side for making out better. I mean, they got Vidicek, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? Like, Vidicek's incredible.
Well, we got. I think it's a flashback from Lheureux to get the Lheureux in our team, and now it's Carrier, so it's kind of flashback with the Moncton Wildcat. Unfortunately,
yeah. Well, now we just
the fans have seen 2 good players, so
now we got to look forward to getting our hands on Caleb. Get one of these jerseys on Caleb Desnoyers.
That would be hilarious. But we still have a Desnoyers, so it's so good. So we just changed the number. That's all.
He was a Moncton. He was a Wildcat, though.
Yeah, he was.
Elliot was a Wildcat. He came over with that trade when we got rid of Bo and McIsaac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one that 2020 trade that was
Yeah.
supposed to have a Memorial Cup and
Oh,
got reported. That's all.
Julian's in the chat. Don't bring up the 2020 year.
C'est pas ma faute. I'll say it in French.
Yeah.
C'est pas ma faute.
Who else do we got here? Colin says, no, sorry, Kevin. I wish I could be. I can't. I tried last year, but was told that I couldn't. I think he's talking about going to the Moncton game. Why couldn't you go? Oh, blood. Oh, okay, sorry. Giving blood. Sorry about that. Melissa says her blood pressure's way too low. 100%, man. I think her blood pressure's like in the 90s or so. It's something incredibly low. I heard the Moosehead fan loud building. Fans are too loud. Can't wait to see my friends from Nova Scotia. He doesn't want any Moosehead fans in the building because we're too loud, he says. You know what? All the more reason to get your fans up and screaming, bud. Get them up. Stand up in your seat. You know, get up. Just stand up, turn around, and even if they look at you, boo or smile or tell you to shut up, do it. Keep going, man. I was doing it in your barn. Get up you call it the den. I was doing it in your den. You get up and do it. Get your team, get your fans going. Carrier had a major challenge of being stuck in a strong roster and really didn't get the chance to show his full potential. 100%. Moving over to Halifax did quite well. That's a very astute not opinion, statement. You're 100% right. He was overshadowed by Denoyer for one, and didn't get the chance to shine. You know what? He was also, from what I hear from Moncton fans, is he was sat quite a bit too. If he did anything wrong, they wouldn't play him. Julian says we don't talk about 2020.
We just did. It's like
Kevin says because of my lymphoma I had about 16 years ago. I didn't know you had lymphoma. I didn't know that. Yep, 16 years of counting. Wow, that's crazy, man. Jared says Moncton only gets Vitti and McKinnon for 1 year. We get Carrier for probably 3 years. And you can't really go by Carrier's stats from last year. He was buried in the fourth line. I agree he was buried. I agree. 100%. I just conceded to that with John. However, the fact that they only have Vidicek and McKinnon for 1 year means absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter that we have Carrier for 3 years and they have Vidicek for 1 year. We're not going to win it every year for those next 3 years. You trade to build your team for the year that you're going for it. So if Vidicek and McKinnon helps them get to the Memorial Cup this season, it's worth 100 Carriers for 4 years. You know, as long as that trade gets you to where you want to be. You build for your fourth year, for your go for it year. So it doesn't matter if they had to trade the world, as long as they win this season.
Exactly.
It's irrelevant how long we get Carrier. It doesn't matter. That's something that the Moncton fans were arguing. Well, they get him for 3 years. That doesn't matter. We're not going to win all 3 years. We only need we build a team for that 1 year. Those 3 years prior mean nothing but growth.
And if you look at the past year that the Memorial Cup played in the Q1, they have at least a good solid 3 years.
Yeah.
And the fourth year they won it. So you can take the perfect example with Quebec with Patty Waugh's team. So he built that team, and that's why they're so proud of it.
Yep.
And last year, unfortunately, it was a different year. It was it was crucial, but to be honest, like the people getting the Memorial Cup, it's a great accomplishment because it's all your junior years that you sacrifice, and your parents get the sacrifice to make sure you succeed in there until the big trophy. It's like the Stanley Cup, same thing. You get hurt, you playing with the injuries, you go on till the end, and that's the character of a team. And I hope for the best for Moncton Wildcat to go all the way, no matter what. and go for get some claws, right? So and Rimouski is right behind, so it'll be two teams. For me personally, it might be the two teams going to be hard to be knockout. Drummondville is just behind there, and Drummondville is really a complete team, and them too. They build a good team this year too, so it's gonna be hard between those three
See,
teams.
Drummondville's funny to me because they had such a stellar team last season, and then to come back, what should be their first year of their rebuild, and because they were so stacked last year with 19-year-olds and really good 18-year-olds, they were able to be this competitive this year. And hats off to them. You know, I think it really started with their coach. Sly's an incredible coach. I think that's where their success started. And you know, good on them. Good on them. But I think Moncton can pull it out. Julian says our coach was an idiot and hated him, so didn't play him. We're talking about Carrier. Good old Beaver Tail, says Kevin. Dylan comes in and says we may not win all 3 of those years, but Moncton won't win this year. Oh, that's a bold statement. I don't know. I think, you know, if they find their groove and, you know, Russo performs, I think they could win. I don't see why not. You know, they have all the pieces, you know, and you know, let's just hope that when the playoffs come that they have 2022, 2023 Russo. Right?
Hopefully.
If they have that Russo, there's no stopping them. No stopping.
Exactly.
100%.
And I find if Russo's on the bigger stage, you'll be performing pretty good. And you know what? Just in the playoff, like right now, he's trying to find his bearings and all stuff with Moncton, get a good feel. You should have a pretty good feel by now. So the only thing that I seen the goals, especially the game Rimouski and Moncton, we'll talk about that one again because the goals I seen live there, it was not like shots that he couldn't stop. It's just the positioning of the team right in front of him. So they got to get the feel with him, right? So that's what it is, and it's most of the goals that get scored against him. It was full of pucks going in there just because.
So when we were up in Moncton, the last game we were up to see Moncton play Rimouski, 100%. Defense was the issue. It wasn't goaltending. It wasn't scoring. It was 100% defense. Defense dropped the ball that game. McKinnon said it himself, you know, and he promised that it won't happen again. You know, the defense was a difference maker for the Rimouski and Moncton game. Now, did Moncton do as much to improve their scoring as Rimouski? No, they didn't. As Dylan commented here, he says they have no scoring depth. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think they have scoring depth, but I don't think they did as much as, say, Rimouski to add pieces to their scoring. They still have a lot of guys that can put it in the back of the net. You know, they got Vidicek. They got, you know, Denoyer's on fire this season. They got Smith, who is finding the back of the net. Even McKinnon is putting them in the back of the net. So I don't think they're lacking on scoring depth, but I will say that Rimouski, I think, did more to their offense at trade period. 100%. Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
That's who it's going to be. It's going to be Rimouski and Moncton. I don't think Sly's got it in him again this season. He's a great coach and great team, but I think Rimouski and it's going to come down to Rimouski and Moncton personally. Unless there's an upset, I mean that could still happen.
Yeah. Oh man, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and I can't wait to see the first round of playoff.
Yep.
I still think Moosehead's gonna make it, and just like I said, if they do one round and they get a good battle out of it, it's good experience for our young guys,
100%.
and I think that's gonna forge more the teamwork.
Yep.
And the leadership in the room is gonna stamp up a little bit more. And just by the way, Schultz, that's what they call in the French down and the announcer, Schultz. It's Schultz.
That's funny.
But Schultz. And I was like, what? Why they call him Schultz? It's Schultz. Come on, you should know that. So they butcher his name.
They butcher a lot of names. So there's one kid on Moncton whose name is Fortier Jean-Jean, and the Moncton announcer says "fuck you, Jean-Jean."
Wow.
How do you mess a
That's
name up
really
that
deep.
bad? It doesn't even look like it could possibly sound like "fuck you," but he literally
Yeah.
says "fuck you, Jean-Jean."
Yeah, you should have just go Gendron.
Yeah.
You should
Yeah.
go just Gendron. That's it. It's more simple. Like Beau Gru. Like we call him Beau Gru. We didn't call him Benoit Olivier Gru.
Yeah.
At the puck. Benoit Olivier Gru. It shoots. Score. Benoit Olivier Gru. You know? So it's just they have to get like a shorter name, and it will help. And I think Ian is working on that like 110%.
Oh,
So that's what he's doing all the time.
100%. He goes up to get the roster and talks to like coaches or you know, the equipment managers or whoever else he needs to talk to find out the correct pronunciation so he doesn't screw it up. You know, that's one of the reasons he's best in the league, in my opinion. So our
And
next,
Kinsey's doing a lot of those with animating the hockey games too. So she's doing an amazing job, and I think she's taking from Ian there a little bit for announcing the play-by-play. But go ahead.
so we got 3 games this week.
Mm-hmm.
2 Moncton or 2 Moosehead games, and then I have another game I want to talk about. So our next game is Friday versus the Armada, 7 p.m. That is the game that we are going to be presenting our Community Player of the Year award to the player who has done more in the community than any other throughout the season. We gave it to, I think I've mentioned it a few times here, we gave it to McPhee last year. This year it will go to be announced. But yeah, we got some cool stuff. We got Spade Mashi, who is... there is a big game tomorrow, the girls' Canada game. Canada versus U.S. I won't be going to it. I know a lot of Moose fans will be there. So, you know, go Canada, go. Yeah, so the Community Player of the Year, where was I going with that? So our big sponsors, we got Spade Mashi, who is a golf simulating company, has donated $225 gift certificate as well as some swag. We have Golf Town, who has offered up $160 worth of services. We got Candy Depot, who has given $100 worth of candy. Really cool store too. You got to get in there. It's in Dartmouth Crossing, right by in the village shops there. And then we also have MF Creations, Matt Farrell, who has graciously made a plaque for us this year. Last year it was a piece of paper award in a frame. So the cool thing is this award that we're giving to the players is only getting better. So make sure you tune in when we post that. If the game is Friday, it'll probably be posted, I'd say Monday, maybe Saturday if I have the time. Then Saturday we are versus the T10. Make sure you go for that one. I want to see if it was a fluke or if we got what it takes to beat them again. And that is going to be Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Always a big night in the barn for us. Always really, you know, it's a great environment. Hockey Fights Cancer Night, it seems like everybody comes together. It's a community thing. Everybody's there for it. They know why they're there. It's not just another hockey game. So I absolutely love Hockey Fights Cancer. John Seipen says, can't wait. I've been doing lots of prep tonight to get things ready for it. If people aren't able to be there in person, it will be on TSN 1 and TSN 4 starting at 7 p.m. That's referring to the women's Canada versus U.S. game. Is there a jersey raffle? Kevin says he's got the horseshoe up his ass. He won 2 last time, so you know, good for you, man. I'm happy for you. I just hope you don't win any this time. And there's something else I want to get to here. Oh, Lindsay says, I hope for you they still win in the build. I agree, man. I think that would be awesome. And then our third game that I want to talk about is here in Cole Harbor. It's Sunday, and it's going to be March and Milco Hunters. They're a local team, U18, owned by partially by Brad Marchand. Ryan Hillier is one of the coaches, and they are playing potentially a playoff preview. They're versus a Cape Breton team that they're probably going to meet in the playoffs. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because Sunday is a very special game for them. One of the staff with the Hunters, their child has a rare form of cancer. Her name is Celine. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She's only 9 years old, so it's for her. The game is going to be dedicated to her. I'm going to put a post up on our Facebook. I'd love if anybody wants to go see some competitive junior hockey. By the way, the Hunters have Cole Bent, and I know the last name's McLeod. I think it's Cole as well. I think it's Cole and Cole. Cole Bent and Cole McLeod are on the Hunters. So if you want to see some Mooseheads, they're my favorite. They're two of my favorite newcomers this year. Bent is a heavy hitter who just wants to throw his weight around, and McLeod is a very talented player. So if you guys want to come see them play, it's Sunday. I will make a post on our Facebook page with more details, but I'd love to see some Mooseheads there. Wear your Mooseheads gear. There's a couple Mooseheads on the team, why not? And I'd love to see some signs, man, some signs supporting this young lady who is going through a very difficult time in her life. Look for the details on our Facebook page. I did mute you, but you can unmute yourself there, Steve. I only muted you because there was a little bit of noise in the background. I was trying to talk.
Yeah, with the kids as usual. I was about to just mute there, but they're doing their thing.
Also, we have 2 interviews that have been filmed. Hey, Lindsay, that have been filmed and will be coming out. One's tomorrow, and the next one will be next Thursday. So we have Sam Magid coming on tomorrow, and a pre-recorded interview with Ryan Hillier will be coming on next week. So look for both of those. Magid's such a nice kid. It was such a pleasure to have him on. Hillier actually coached Magid back in his younger days of hockey, so kind of a cool little connection there. So we spoke with both of them, and as I said, those are coming out this Thursday and next Thursday. So be on the lookout. That's it for me. Steve, anything you'd like to talk about? Actually, why don't we get to the joke book? Ha ha!
Well, I'll get up and get to the joke book then.
What do you mean you're not ready?
Well, I was there. I just I go move around the house so you don't have the background noise.
While we're waiting on Steve, if anybody else wants to discuss anything, please throw it in the comments.
In the
John
comments.
says, I've always been a fan of the Hockey Fights Cancer game ever since McPhee's special goal. That was incredible. That was a big moment for him, John. I agree. CB Islanders, Chris says. So it looks like Chris will be there Sunday. I think it's an early game. I think it's like 2 o'clock. So it's a good game to go to. I know I'll be there.
Oh, cool.
And if anybody wants to catch a Magic game, I think he plays tonight. I couldn't make it tonight. He also plays Friday. All right, let's go.
All right. So this one's a good one. It's basically for all the hockey mom around the Moose and the country there. Where did the hockey mom hide all the cookies?
I give up.
On the top shelf.
I like that. Was good.
That was good. I like cookie.
I
like cookie. I make my cookie and all stuff. So that's good. So yeah, if you like those little jokes from Ian, and he sells them and all stuff. So it's if you really, it's a really good support for him.
It's a
and
good read,
the
too.
jokes are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good read, and it's just little jokes. They're similar as funny stories jokes, but those ones it's personalized by Ian, so it's great.
Yeah, he
So
he
I
wrote
love
he
it.
created them all. They're all dad jokes. I've been
Oh yeah.
I've been hassling him on when the next book's coming out, but I think he is actually thinking about doing another book, so that'd be kind of cool.
That'll be cool, and you know what? It'll be different team than the Maple Leaf now.
Oh God, the freaking Maple Leafs! Every day my son wakes up and checks the stats and to tell me what place Toronto's in and what place Montreal's in. I'm like, you know what? We may not make it to the playoffs this season. I'm fine with that, but you're delusional if you think your boys are gonna make it past the first round. It's not happening.
1967.
1967. All right, guys, that's it for me.
Thank you.
That's it for me.
Definitely.
Thank you for joining me, Steve. I always appreciate you coming on with me, brother.
No problem.
I hope you're all healthy, safe, and happy out there. And as always, go Moose, go.